Welcome to Money Films. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and ring the notification bell. For an enhanced viewing experience, activate the subtitles by clicking on the CC button. Let's dive in. The film begins with Eddie, a struggling writer who is unable to publish any of his books. Being broke and not having a safety net in life leads his girlfriend Lindy to break up with him. Eddie tries to change her mind, saying that she is everything to him, but Lindy is sick and tired of taking care of him. She feels like she is his bank.
Well, even though everything you say is true, I still love you.
I gotta get back to work.
Eddie leaves that short meeting disappointed. On his way, he stumbles on his ex-wife's brother, Vernon, who comments that Eddie looks like a homeless person. Although Eddie tries to avoid him, Vernon insists they grab a beer and takes Eddie to a bar nearby. Vernon reveals that his sister got married to another man and had 2 kids before her husband left her. On the other hand, Eddie speaks honestly, revealing that he is having a hard time writing and getting his books published.
Well, I suppose I can help you with that.
Listening to that, Vernon takes a nootropic out of his pocket. He claims that this drug, called NZT48, can help a person access their full brain capacity. Eddie is quick to assume that Vernon is still working as a dealer, but the latter explains that he is now working for a pharmaceutical company. Soon, Vernon gets a phone call and has to leave. However, he gives Eddie 1 pill for free, even if its market price is $800.
You're welcome.
Then, Eddie returns home and swallows the nootropic before entering his apartment building. While going up the stairs, he stumbles on Valerie, his landlord's wife. Valerie starts laying it on him, but things are different this time. The nootropic has made Eddie able to pay attention to the smallest of details. As Eddie figures out, Valerie is in law school and she is probably nervous because she has to write a paper. The drug makes Eddie pull up all the relevant unconscious information that he has on law, which he uses in order to help Valerie with her paper.
Up in my frontal lobes, mixing itself together into a sparkling cocktail of useful information.
Actually, he uses that information to do way more than that since he seduces Valerie, and they have sex. Upon returning to his own flat, Eddie realizes that he can't keep living in this mess he calls home, so he starts cleaning the apartment. On top of that, inspiration hits him hard, and he can't stop writing, achieving a new level of creativity. Have you ever wished for a pill that could unlock your full potential? Would you risk the unknown to gain superhuman cognitive abilities? Drop your thoughts below. When Eddie wakes up the next morning, he sadly realizes that he is back to his old self. However, there is something that is still there for him, the pages he wrote yesterday night. Eddie takes those pages to a publisher and pleads with her to just read a few of them.
If you don't want to keep reading, I'll give you back the advance.
When Eddie returns to his apartment, he finds a voice message from the publisher, prompting him to call her back because she loved the book. That makes Eddie want to do it again, so he pays Vernon a visit to buy more of the nootropics. He finds Vernon beaten up, but the latter does not reveal who did this to him. Instead, he sends Eddie to grab his laundry from the dry cleaners.
From now on, I'd happily be his errand boy.
When Eddie comes back, he finds Vernon dead and calls the police. He suspects that Vernon has been killed by someone who was looking for the NZT48, but he's not sure if they found it. Before the police arrive, Eddie starts looking for the drugs and finds a whole bunch of them hidden in the oven. Then, Eddie is taken to the police station, but he doesn't know much about what has happened, even though he keeps the nootropics a secret.
Something of the gel here. Write down your number. I may need to contact you later.
Over the following months, Eddie's life keeps getting better as he uses more and more of the NZT. He gets into better shape. He learns new languages by just listening to them once. He also has one-night stands with hot girls in the clubs, and he truly becomes limitless. At some point, he realizes that writing books is never going to be enough for him now that he can aim for something bigger. Indeed, he started getting involved in the stock market, making some big profits. However, he understands that he needs to use more money in order to make bigger gains, so he borrows $100,000 from a loan shark. Soon, he also lands a job in a brokerage firm, and his skills get him lots of attention.
At the end of the week, my brokerage account contained over $2 million. Word quickly got out.
In addition, he manages to win Lindy over again, and they become a couple after spending a hot night together. The next day, Eddie has a meeting with a tycoon from the energy sector, Carl Van Loon. Van Loon puts him to the test by asking him to take a look at some stocks he intends buying, but in reality, his plan is to merge with a company that belongs to another tycoon, Hank Atwood.
You better be prepared.
I'm at your disposal.
After their meeting, Eddie experiences something that he calls a skip, which means he can't remember some of the events that happened in his life. During that skip, Eddie has sex with a random woman in a hotel room while somebody is following him, and he also gets caught up in a fistfight where he eliminates everybody.
And then using his momentum to him down.
If you were in Eddie's shoes, experiencing both the highs and the dangerous lows of NZT, would you continue using it? Why or why not? Share your thoughts in the comments. The next morning, Eddie doesn't feel quite well, but he forces himself to take yet another pill because he has an important meeting with Van Loon. At the meeting, Van Loon implies that Hank Atwood was a nobody 2 years ago, and now he owns half of Colorado. He has made some impressive progress, which appears to be a bit fishy. While Van Loon speaks, Eddie is absorbed by the news since he recognizes the woman he slept with last night. When he hears that the woman has been murdered, he storms out of the meeting and returns home.
Pardon me 1 second.
After calling his ex-wife inquiring about a meeting, he grabs Vernon's notebook and starts calling his other clients. Sadly, he realizes that some of them are dead while the rest are hospitalized. While making some calls from the local park, one of the numbers he rings belongs to the guy who has been following him. The two of them acknowledge each other, but Eddie manages to escape before the man gets to him.
Go! Go!
Next, Eddie meets with his ex-wife Melissa, who now looks much older than her real age. Melissa reveals she has used the pill in the past, but that caused her more damage than good.
I stopped taking it.
And
And I got sick.
Once she leaves, the loan shark gets to Eddie, demanding his money. While he smacks Eddie around, he sees the pill flying out of Eddie's hand and decides to taste it. Witnessing firsthand the way the pill makes him feel, he grabs his money and walks away for now. Eddie is feeling much worse now, so he visits Lindy at her job to ask for help since he has hidden the nootropics in her apartment.
Give me your keys. I'll go to your apartment.
Lindy goes to her house to grab the pills for him, but on her way back to her office, she realizes that she is being followed. The man in the trench coat is getting closer to her, but Eddie tells her over the phone to try one of the pills because it will help her escape. Not knowing what else she can do, Lindy takes one of the pills and manages to evade her stalker. Then, Eddie takes one pill and immediately starts feeling better. The two of them spend the night together and have sex, but the next morning, Lindy announces that she is breaking up with him again. Having tried the pill, she knows that Eddie can't be his real self while he is on that pill. While Lindy walks away, Eddie realizes that his loan shark is still following him. Later, Eddie sneaks up on him, and the loan shark asks to get some more of that pill Eddie has. For now, Eddie agrees to give him some until he comes up with a better solution to deal with him. Then, Eddie makes some bold moves, such as hiring 2 huge bodyguards, optimizing his habits to minimize the side effects of the NZT, and hiring a laboratory team to reverse engineer the nootropic. While everything seems to be going well, a police detective visits Eddie and tells him there is an eyewitness that connects him to the murder of that woman at the hotel. To deal with that, Eddie hires New York's best lawyer to get him out. Eventually, Eddie seals the deal between Van Loon and Atwood and accumulates a large sum of money in the process.
Now I'll open up a line of credit for you. You'll be wanting a few toys.
When it's time for Atwood to sign the actual papers, his wife joins the meeting to inform Eddie and Van Loon that her husband is in the hospital, but he will sign as soon as he feels better. When Eddie realizes that the man in the trench coat works for the Atwood, he figures out that Hank Atwood is not feeling well because he is missing the NZT. In a twist of events, Eddie's attorney steals the pills from him while he also receives a package with the hands of his bodyguards in it.
Eddie!
Eddie returns home in shock. Also, he gets a visit from his loan shark and his boys. The loan shark starts telling him that he likes to dilute the NZT and use a needle to insert it directly into his bloodstream because it activates his brain's full capacity way sooner. Eddie finds an opening and manages to stab the loan shark. Then, he drinks his blood from the floor because it contains the NZT. The trick works well, and Eddie is able to get rid of the loan shark's henchmen as well. Right next, he goes to the hospital and is informed that Atwood died. Eddie sits next to Atwood's henchman and tells him that his attorney has had the pills this whole time, which is why they were not able to save Atwood. With that in mind, they invade the attorney's place and take Eddie's pills back. 1 year later, Eddie is rich and powerful, and he is running for the Senate. One of his sponsors visits him in his office, and he is none other than Van Loon. Van Loon announces that he has built a pharmaceutical company that privately produces NZT while, at the same time, he has been able to shut down Eddie's secret lab. Van Loon offers to supply Eddie with as much NZT as he likes if Eddie becomes his support from a position of power. However, Eddie tells him that he has perfected every attribute of the pill on his own, to the point where he is not even taking the pill anymore.
I just want to keep you brilliant and healthy.
Do you think Eddie has truly become independent of the NZT pill, or is he hiding something? Let us know your theories and predictions for a possible continuation. As he takes Van Loon outside, Eddie demonstrates his skills by predicting an accident before it happens.
You know, you should really be glad about this, because me working for you, you'd end up as my
And then plainly goes to dinner with Lindy while ordering his food in Chinese. Well, kiddos, today's life lesson brought to you by this action-packed, pill-popping cinematic experience is this. If you're a struggling writer with writer's block, bad fashion choices, and a trail of disappointed exes, all you need is a questionable nootropic from your ex-wife's sketchy brother. Sure, you might get caught up in a whirlwind of murder, deception, and questionable seduction tactics, but hey, you could also become super rich, predict the future, and order dinner in a language you never knew. Just remember, self-improvement is overrated. Why meditate, read, or learn a skill when you can simply pop a magic pill? But most importantly, when the going gets tough, just remember to drink the blood of your enemies for that extra kick. Cheers to shortcuts and living life on the fast lane, or not. Always remember to read the fine print and consult your doctor before trying any miracle solutions. Thanks for tuning in. Until our next adventure, stay awesome and see you soon.